So hello, how are you all? आप लोग fine, doing well and good at lives, and so welcome back to चलो सीखे और सिखाएं। तो चलिए आज हम शुरू करते हैं elements, compounds and mixtures for class 8th, and this is going to be a third chapter of chemistry. And so let us just start and just recall the things which we have studied. So introduction first, let me give you all that there are three types of matter. This we have studied in our previous classes 6 and 7, right? There are three types of matter: solid, liquid and gases, and they are broadly classified. Matter can be classified into chemical on the basis of composition, properties, elements, compounds and mixtures. Now elements and compounds, these both are what? These both are homogeneous, but mixtures can be homogeneous or it can be heterogeneous. Now what elements and compounds are what? They are pure substances. Elements and compounds are pure substances, right? What is a pure substance? This also we have studied it. This we had in last year, right? Yeah. Pure substance have a definite chemical composition and a definite physical and chemical properties. It has a definite chemical composition and a definite chemical and physical properties. They are all homogeneous. They are all homogeneous. Elements and compounds are pure substances. Examples: gold, silver, aluminium, these all things comes. So now here is a small chart or like classification given here. Matter, pure substances, mixtures. In pure substances, elements and compounds come. In elements there are metals, non-metals, metalloids and inert gases. In compounds there are what? Inorganic and organic. Mixtures, homogeneous and heterogeneous. There are only two types, and this is an impure substance. Impure substance can be defined as which does not has a definite chemical composition and which does not has a fixed chemical or physical properties. They are all composed. They are all not homogeneous. They might be homogeneous or they might not be homogeneous. Like they can be homogeneous or heterogeneous. I'm doing it very complicated of quite, right? Yeah. Now what is mixtures? So impure substances are mixtures. See, mixtures are made up of two or more impure substances added into it. I'll just read this very fast, okay? Mixtures are made up of two or more substances mixed together in any proportion. They do not have any definite set of properties. They retain the properties of their components from which they are formed. They may be homogeneous or heterogeneous. Their composition is not uniform throughout the blank. Some examples are here: air, sea, water, petroleum, solution of sugar in water are all impure substances, right? Because we can't do anything. Different kinds of elements or compounds or both can be indefinite properties. It does not has a fixed property. It doesn't has only, right? It doesn't has a properties, fixed composition, nothing. So this is a mixture, okay? So now what is element? An element is a pure substance which cannot be converted into further anything else further than itself, and elements are pure substances. Yeah, an element is a pure substance which cannot be converted into anything simpler than itself by any physical or chemical process. Example: hydrogen and nitrogen. Elements are made up of only one kind of atoms. Now how are elements made? Elements are made up of only one kind of atoms. The smallest unit of an element is, what is the smallest unit of an element? It is an atom, and smallest unit of an element is atom. A smallest unit of an compound is molecule. These are very basic things which we have studied it, right? Previous classes. I'm just recalling all of them. So they are widely distributed in Earth's crust in the free state as well as in combined states. So there are how many types of elements present? There are 118 elements present, in which 92 are natural and 26 are artificially created by us humans. Now what are the characteristics of elements? Elements are simple. Elements are simplest type of pure and homogeneous substances. Elements are simplest type of pure and homogeneous substances. They cannot be broken down into anything simpler than itself that exhibits all the properties that element. Elements are the simplest type of pure substances. These are things which we have studied only, right? They have the fixed melting and boiling point. Each element consists of only one kind of atoms. The atoms of each element differ in properties from the atoms of other element. Each element is represented by a symbol which is single letter or two letters of the English alphabet. And it is a short hand notation of full name that element. The symbol also represents of an element. Yeah, elements are represented in symbolic form, right? Elements can react chemically with other elements and compounds to form new substances. So here it is given that elements are the simplest type of an element, of a pure substance, and elements are homogeneous. They cannot be broken down into anything in itself, because it is very simpler than itself by exhibiting all the properties of that element. So elements have all the properties of that particular element which it is. Like gold has the properties of gold, silver has the properties of gold, silver, but gold doesn't has the properties of silver, or silver doesn't has the properties of gold. So like this. So it has properties of itself, and they have what? They have a fixed boiling and melting points. Like water is also a pure substance, right? And water is a pure substance. Water has a fixed boiling point which is 100 degrees Celsius. Mercury is also a pure substance which comes under the which is this non-metal. This also has a fixed boiling point. All these, each element consists of only one type of atom. So each element, each atoms or each type of molecules present, they have a definite mass, definite size, definite shape in which of that particular element. Each element is represented by a symbol. So each element is represented by a symbol. Like water is represented by H2O, carbon dioxide is represented by CO2, these all things. Okay, so here is the next. For example, element hydrogen reacts with other element chlorine in diffuses sunlight to produce a compound hydrogen chloride. Hydrogen plus chlorine, hydrogen chloride. So this is just a small element, potassium. This reaction they have given. Here it comes the classification. Elements classification based on their properties. Elements are classified into metals, non-metals, metalloids, and inert gases. Metals are most of the elements known to us are metals only. Like most of the elements, there are very huge number of metals present. Yeah, right? Like gold, silver, copper, iron, sodium, potassium, these all things comes in metals. Non-metals, they are very less in number in comparison to metals, but they are only 11. There are only 11 non-metals, including noble gases. There are only 11 non-metals, including the noble gases. Including them, there are only 11. They exist in all three physical states: solid, liquid, and gases. So non-metals exist in all three states. Like oxygen is a non-metal, and carbon dioxide is a non-metal, right? These all things comes here in non-metal. Metalloids are showing the properties of both the metals and non-metals. Properties you have studied in the last previous classes. If not, then just go through it once if you have the textbooks still with you guys. Like most of them don't keep the textbooks, right? They throw it in the or something, but please don't do that, because it the textbooks are also going to use with you in future classes also. And if you like this video, like if you're still watching this video, then I hope you are liking my teaching. And if you like this, make sure to subscribe this channel, Chalo Sikhe aur Sikhaye, and like the video, and make sure to share this video with your friends who are in the same class. And yeah, so let's just start. Thank you so much if you have already subscribed. So let us start now. Now let us recall some facts about elements that you have already studied in your previous. The most abundant element in the Earth's crust. Which is the most abundant element in the Earth's crust? Which is that element? It is oxygen. Name the element which is highest in the percentage in air. Nitrogen. Two soft metals, sodium and potassium. Name a liquid metal and a liquid non-metal. Name a liquid metal and a liquid non-metal. Metal is a liquid metal, can be I guess which is this? I'm quite confused here. Mercury and what is this, man? I don't know. I'm not able to recall at this moment. Okay, it's fine. Write the names and symbols of the first 20 elements you have studied in your class 7th. Yeah, hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. These you write. Then you write sodium, potassium, these all, magnesium. All these you just write it, and they are mentioned. If you already know, then yeah, you have to write it, of course. If you have already know, then practice till 50 For your class 8th, I guess it is only, you have to do all the elements, right? You have to do all the elements for class 8th. Last year you had only 20 elements, right? Molecules of elements. Molecules of different elements consist of two. So now here starts your main chapter. Here I guess it begins. No, not yet, not yet. It's just all recall. You just have to recall the things which you have studied in your previous chapters, previous years. So let's just have a small break. Okay, let's just start now. There's a small break, I hope, and tell me in the comment section from which uh, districts or which places you all are from, because I want to know from which places people are watching the video which I'm uploading. Okay, and yeah, let's just start with the molecules of element. Molecules of different element consist of 1, 2, 3 and more atoms. 1, 2, 3 and more atoms. So molecules of different elements consist of 1, 2, 3 and more atoms. On the basis of number of atoms, molecules of elements can be monoatomic, triatomic or polyatomic. This also we had this. The number of atoms present in the molecule is called as atomicity. The number of atoms present in a molecule is called as atomicity. All metals, metalloids and gases are monoatomic, while non-metals can be diatomic, triatomic or polyatomic. All the metals, metalloids and gases are monoatomic, while non-metals can be diatomic, polyatomic, triatomic, but metalloids and gases are always what? They're always what? They're always monoatomic. So here's a small table. You can just go through it. Now I'll just start with this point. What are compounds? Okay, you can just go through. No. A compound is a pure substance composed of two or more elements combined chemically in a definite proportion. A compound is also a pure substance composed of two or more elements combined chemically in a definite proportion. Compounds are made up of two different types of atoms combined chemically to perform a molecules. Hence, the smallest unit of compound is what is the smallest unit of compound? That is molecule. The properties of compounds are entirely different from those of its constituent elements. Example, sodium chloride is a compound made up of sodium and chloride. Sodium chloride is a compound which is made up of sodium and chloride, and when they combine chemically in a fixed ratio of mass, the properties of sodium chloride are completely different from those of the sodium and different from those of the compound. So here again we have got a chart. You can just go through, pause the video, just like right now, just pause the videos and just go through this. Okay, but sodium chloride is a white crystallized solid which is non-poisonous. But sodium chloride is a white crystallized solid which is non-poisonous. It is useful. Characteristics of compounds now. Okay, what are characteristics? Compounds are pure and homogeneous substances. All samples of a pure compound have an identical set of definite physical and chemical properties. They have definite melting and boiling points. They have definite chemical formula which also represent their molecules. The constituents or components of a compound from which it is made up of can be separated only by the chemical methods. So during the formation, here it's also here this is just go through, like mercuric oxide is a compound. This is just a blue box. You just go through it. Nothing explanation. It's just a sort of reaction. Okay, let me just say it. Okay, mercuric oxide is a compound made up of mercury and oxygen. On heating mercuric oxide, these two elements get separated, which is possible by physical methods. So yeah, it's just that mercuric oxide is a compound which gets separated by a method of heating. So when this it is a simple process of method of heating. There are different types of methods of separating a homogeneous and homogeneous, liquid and liquid, heterogeneous, homogeneous, homogeneous. There are different types of methods which we can use to separate, tukda, आधा टुकड़ा करना. You can also say that. So following are some of the examples to understand the characteristics of compounds. Water, H2O. Water is a compound made up of two elements, hydrogen and oxygen, combined chemically in a ratio 1:8 ratio by the mass. The different uh, the properties of water are completely different from those of the constituent of elements. Both the hydrogen and oxygen are gas, but water is an ordinary temperature, is a liquid. Hydrogen is a gas, combustible and burns, and oxygen is a supporter of combustion, while the water is used to extinguish fire. These two elements cannot be separated from water by physical methods. They can only obtain when an electric current is passed through it. So the water is a compound made up of two elements, hydrogen and oxygen, and both the hydrogen and oxygen are gases, right? Hydrogen is also a non-metal and even oxygen is also a non-metal, but both of them are at ordinary temperature. When they are both are mixed, when they become liquid, they both are at ordinary temperature. Hydrogen gas is what? It is a combustible and burns. Hydrogen gas is combustible and burns, and oxygen is a supporter of combustion, while water is an extension. These two elements cannot be separated by water, but these two elements cannot be separated by any type of physical or simple methods. They can only be separated by when electric current is passed through the water. So there is iron sulfide, one of the example. Iron sulfide is a compound formed when an iron and sulfur combine chemically on heating 7:4 ratio by mass. Iron sulfide is a black solid, while iron is grey black metal and sulfur is a yellow amorphous non amorphous non-metal solid. Iron is attracted by a magnet and sulfur is soluble in a carbon disulfide. Iron sulfate is neither attracted by a magnet nor it is in a carbon disulfide. So here are the elements and compound differences. An element is the simplest type of pure substance. A compound is a pure substance made up of two different types of elements mixed into it, combined into it. Then element is a small. The smallest unit of an element is atom. The smallest unit of a compound is molecule. A molecule of an element is made up of same kind of atoms. The molecule of an element is made up of two different types of elements combined together of two different elements. An element has its own set of properties. The set of properties of compounds are completely different from the properties of an element from which it is made up of. An element cannot be broken down into more simpler substances by any physical or chemical means. An element cannot be broken. An element cannot be broken down into more simpler substances by any physical or chemical methods. An element cannot be broken down into more simpler substances by any physical or chemical method. It cannot be broken down. मतलब उसको ज़्यादा बात नहीं कह सकते. Components of compound can be separated by simple methods. So this is an exercise which I'll be doing. I guess I'll be doing this exercise in the form of short videos. Okay, just watch the videos which I'll be uploading in shorts. So I'll be doing this in shorts. Yeah, I've cleared that. I'll be not making a long video, I guess so, but you'll get all these in shorts. Okay, just go through that. And so this we'll just finish this here exercise. This is a part 1 video, and we'll be doing part 2 video also, in which I'll be covering the mixtures. Only mixtures is remaining, right? So many pages are there. Let me just see. Mixtures, and some are just these many. We'll just finish it off. Okay, I hope you like this video. If you like this video, make sure to like, share, comment down below. This is a test textbook. I gave you a quick review type, and I just showed you that when you have the same textbook and you're watching the same video. And so I hope you like this video. If you like this, make sure to like, share, comment, as I said. And if someone if you want to send this video to your friends who are really interested in this type of chemistry, science field, or maths, then you can recommend the channel. And I hope you all like this video, and thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much for watching, and thanks for watching.